Yo, what is good YouTube? Today we are back with another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet VGC video, and in today's video we're going to be using a pretty standard team here with some cool techs. Now this is a pretty balanced team. As you can see, we have the Roaring Moon, Booster Energy, Acrobatics, so we are Terra Flying. This is just our Tailwind setter, very fast. Basically the only thing faster than this are the priority Tailwinds, so you know we're talking things like obviously Talonflame and Murkrow. But next to that, we have Fluttermane as well. Now, this is a very interesting Fluttermane that I've seen a few people using, and I think it's like really good into the Dondozo matchups. And that is basically the Focus Sash with the fourth move being Perish Song. Really good. We have a pretty standard Amoonguss here, Terra Dark, Mental Herb, just to make sure we don't get taunted. Another pretty standard Arcanine, Safety Goggles, Flare Blitz, Snarl, Will-O-Wisp. Really good into a lot of the physical attackers like Iron Hands. Also really helps us in our Side Spam matchup. That paired up with Roaring Moon is really good into it. We have the Covert Cloak Iron Bundle. This is something that I think is picking up a bit in usage. This is just really good in the mirrors against the Iron Bundles. Like, for example, if you're going up against a Focus Sash one, like for example, if you know, playing one of my lines here, if you know something like, you know, Flutter Bundle versus Flutter Bundle, I would protect my Flutter, I'd Icy Wind, and then obviously I'd look to pick up the next turn with my Fluttermane. And then last but not least, we just have a pretty standard Iron Hands. It's AV, it's Drain Punch, Wild Charge, Stopping Tantrum with Terror Ground, Fake Out. Again, this is just a very standard team, but I am just trying to basically practice for OCIC right now. Just trying to get in some reps with some of these mons, basically see what I do and don't like, just so I can basically, yeah, kind of get the team set and ready to go. This isn't the exact team I plan on taking, but I do plan on using some of these mons. But yeah, I kind of just want to test them out and see how I like them. But as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I think we're actually up to like 7% of people are subscribed. I'll put the stat up on the screen. But yeah, you know, we're growing. We're on the road to 1K. I'd love to hit 1K before OCIC. So yeah, if we could do that, that'd be great. I think I've got about 10 days. But yeah, anyway, guys, let's jump into the battles. So what do we have here? Okay. My opponent is playing Gargan Bax. Very interesting. Intimidate does look pretty decent in this game. Speed is also really important here. I think something like this might be an okay start. Nah, it's not the play. I think this is the play. Do I need Moon this game? Acro and Throat aren't the best here. We need a Amoonguss. They got, yeah, a few too many answers to a Amoonguss for my liking. We'll go with this. This gives us still access to speed control, especially as I mentioned earlier. We have the Covert Cloak, Icy Wind here, so we can always protect if my opponent goes super aggressive on the Fluttermane. If not, we can just look to fire off some attacks here. See what their lead is. So they go bundle main 2 as well. So this is what we were talking about in regards to basically having the Covered Cloak here. As you see, their bundle is definitely faster than mine. Do I ever want to run the risk on a speed side here? Probably not. I'm anticipating the Shadow Ball coming into my Fluttermane here. They could, actually, I think that was a mistake. I think they're always doubling my bundle here. But then that does put me into a position where my Fluttermane should hopefully outspeed theirs. And then on top of that, we can bring in the Iron Hands to clean up the other slot. Because as long as the Icy Wind connects on their Fluttermane, we're in a really good position. But did he miss? Oh no, okay. So he connects on my bundle. As long as we connect on their Fluttermane, we're in a really good position. Yep, because now their Fluttermane is in range of Shadow Ball always, unless it's super bulky. And regardless of what they click on here, it puts us in a really good spot. Okay, and they did go for that one, so that was a bit of a misplay on their behalf, I think. So now, because we are sashed, how do we want to go about this? So I think we can actually go for this play. Part of me almost wants to ignore their Fluttermane here. I just have a funny feeling he protects his Fluttermane now. Come on, let me win the speed side, baby. Yes, okay. That's a huge prediction. That's a huge prediction. Because now this puts me in a spot where as long as I connect with my Icy Wind, I can pick up. Yep. So my Icy Wind connects, which means this should pick up. Maybe I should have Moonblasted anticipating this. Yeah, I don't know why I Shadow Balled, actually. That was really stupid of me. Because I think Moonblast definitely KOs. Okay, Shadow Ball still KOs. I did think Shadow Ball picked up there, but I wasn't too sure. But I definitely think Moonblasting there. Considering I wasn't going the Flutter main, Moonblast was always the right play. But now we're in a really, really good spot where we just pick up their Flutter main now anytime we want. Okay, 9 comes in. That's more than fine. So 9 coming in doesn't matter because we can just freely throw a Hydro Pump into that slot. And we can, so Hydro that slot. And then we can just Moonball left here. Even if my opponent Terra's here to survive this, they have to double my Flutter main. Which, yeah, it doesn't really pan out that well for them. Especially too, because they never got the speed drop here on my main, which is really, really important. What are they going to go for here? If I had to guess, it would probably be something like, okay, a swap. I thought they would fire off a Moonblast actually into my my left slot here. This is a really good switch, though. It does resist my my Shadow Ball, obviously, and that Hydro Pump actually picks up. Wowee. He is a very offensive Arcanine, then. Like, I've done my calcs on it. Like, I can KO offensive Arcanines, but bulky Arcanines never die there. And the good thing here is they're going to bring their Flutter back in. If I had to guess, they're going to look for something like a Salt Cure plus a Protect here. So what we can actually do here is just fire off the Hydro Pump into the left slot here. Pretty comfortably as well, I think. How do we feel about what they have in the back? Okay, so I think we can just, as I said, fire off the Hydro Pump here. Actually, and we can just Perish Song this. Yeah, I actually, maybe Protecting here was the right play, but I actually just like the Perish now. My opponent can't win this endgame here. We have Fake Out still. We live anything from Flutter main. We have Protects. Protecting my my own bundle might have actually been the better play here, just to make sure like a double up here from like a Moonblast plus a Salt Cure doesn't pick up, but the Hydro does come out anyway. Yeah, not much damage. Definitely Perish was the play here. I'm really glad I clicked it. And the Shadow Ball comes out. That will drop us to our Sash, which is fine. As long as they attack Iron Bundle here, we can just start stalling them out with Protect. Yeah, and they do. Okay. So this is perfect. We can just click Protect on both of our Mons. Then we can eventually switch out into the Iron Hands for one of the slots. And then, again, just rinse and repeat. Basically the same situation. Just make sure we cycle out our Protects and our, obviously, the Perish counter. And we'll just win this one in the long run. Now, this is not my ideal way of winning. I do actually hate Perish Song myself, but this is a Perish Dropping and they cancelled it. GG to my opponent. They did play pretty well there. I think they got really unlucky on the speed tie, obviously turn 2. As long as it was a speed tie, you know, for all I know it wasn't. But, I mean, you can see the power of Covert Cloak there. And obviously Perish Song on the Flutter main in the end game is just absolutely insane. That is also why I love running it on the other Focus Sash set. But, yeah, we'll jump into the next battle, hey? Alright, Mio. Okay, so we have a Psy-Spam team by the looks of it. This is kind of scary. Alright, so how do we want to play this? So Roaring Moon, I think, is definitely my best into all of their modes here. The only thing that kind of scares Roaring Moon is the Iron Bundle, obviously. But there are ways around that. So our other option here is either Arcanine or Iron Hands, depending on what we anticipate them to lead here. Now, if I was them, I definitely wouldn't bring my Psy-Spam just because I do have 9 and Moon. But at the same time, it is a little scary, I think, for them to try to bring out their Iron Bundles here. So, we do have Stomping Tantrum here. I don't mind going Iron Hands. I think we definitely go Iron Hands and we bring 9 in the back. And then I think Amoonguss is the play. Like, the only thing Amoonguss is really scared of, I think, is hands. Obviously, it depends if I save Terra or not, because, like, the Psy-Spam obviously is a pain in the ass, but we are Dark Terror just for that. So, maybe, I think this was a misplay. I think the lead actually had to always be Amoonguss Roaring Moon against a team like this, Because if I lead a Moongus Moon, then if they're size spam, I just Terra Spore. If they're not, then I can, yeah, okay, so they are size spam. So this, unfortunately, was a bad lead for me in the end, but it should be okay. Unless they've got some, like, Rogue Aurasphere here, they shouldn't really be able to deal with my Roaring Moon that easily. And they got the Psychic Seed coming out. Now, the thing is, I almost want to stay in for a turn with my Iron Hands here, just to get rid of their redirection. Because I don't think they're going to be clicking Psychic this turn or Expanding Force. I think we can just safely Wild Charge this turn. Yep, so they do go the Follow Me here. So Throat Chop might actually pick this up, which would be really, really clutch if it does. And it does not. So they are Bold Max. And then the Wild Charge coming out, just making sure we get that is really, really important. And now this is where we can look to do some funny stuff. So I do think my opponent will look for something like an Expanding Force coming out here. Now, I do unfortunately think this is my fast Iron Hands. So I do think this was kind of a misplay. Yeah, so this does actually outspeed the homie on the right there. But as I said before, so the Armorers, I can think of its name. But as I said, this is a really good spot because even if you're Expanding Forces, yeah, like we're still in a really, really decent position here. So I think we can look to go for just the... Do we want to go the Throat Chop here? I think we can look to just go the Throat Chop. And then, is Terra Ground Stomping Tantrum the play? That could just pick up the gold. Let me think about this, because I could go Protect Terra Ground here, which may pick up... I think this is the play, because right now what I need to do is stall out that Trick Room and eventually get a Moongus into a position where I can sleep something. I do anticipate the Armourouge though to be probably Terra Grass, but that should be fine. Depending on what the board state looks like when we get a Moongus in, it should just be able to hopefully get a Spore off on one slot, which is a big reason why I want to get rid of the Goldango here, so we can get rid of the Friend. Does he click his own Protect here though on the Expanding Force? No, he doesn't. Okay, so I get the Stomping Tantrum off. This is going to do a lot of damage, like a lot of damage. It might even pick up the KO. Very close, not enough. So this, as I did state though, this is a very fast, sorry, not a very fast, this Armourouge is actually not that slow. Sorry, not that, yeah. I think he runs up quite a bit of speed by the looks of it. And he clicks the Make It Rain. We should live this Make It Rain here. I feel pretty comfortable that we do live. And we do. Very nice, very nice. So now the cool thing here is my opponent definitely wants to look at probably clicking Protect here. So what we can actually do is just double the Armourouge slot. Because I'm not scared of the Make It Rain this turn for my Roaring Moon. And he most likely isn't running... If I had to guess... Actually, you know what? Let's cover for it. Let's cover for the Terra Grass here. He most likely isn't running Protect on the Armourouge. He's most likely Wide Guard, Trick Room, Expanding Force, and Armor Cannon, if I had to guess. So this should put me in a good position where, one, he either has to Expanding Force if he wants to take out my homie. Okay, he does swap there. So that's really good. Please show me the Terra Grass here, though. That'd be really good. And he has the Delibird. Okay. So, so 6. So we should hopefully pick up the Armourouge here. And then that'll put us in a position where... Unfortunately, we are slower than Delibird for the meantime. Sorry, Iron Bundle for the meantime. But if we can sort out that Trick Room with one more Protect, we should actually be able to outspeed it. So he does live this. The question is, does he Expanding Force or does he Armor Cannon here? Okay, he goes for the Expanding Force, so that's fine. Roaring Moon is showing how good it is into size spam. And now this should just pick up the KO. Yeah, this will definitely pick up. And we get the KO there. Very good. Very nice. So now the other really cool thing too here is my opponent, while they do have obviously the ability here to just pick up the KO onto my Arcanine with a Hydro Pump, we can actually come in... Oh, do we want to come in and click Snarl, or do we want to try to put it to sleep? That's the age-old question here. I think putting it to sleep now is the best play. Because what we can look to do here is, like, with this, we basically we underspeed everything they have, right? So if we're really ballsy, we can go for the kill onto Goldango. I actually don't mind. How many turns of Trick Room are left? Is this the last one? There's still 2 turns left. Okay. So I don't actually just... Oh, I do mind throat chopping my own Amoonguss. I don't mind the throat chop there, and then we just click the spore here. Yep, so it forces them to protect. So that's why this was better than 9. Even if this guy gets Make It Rain off here, it really isn't doing much. And then we should hopefully be in a very nice position in a 3v1, where we do have obviously speed control into the sleep here, which would be very nice. And that did a lot of damage on both my mons. My goodness, Goldango is insane. We take the KO there, very nice. Now we're in a really nice spot where my opponent, like, kinda is forced to click Icy Wind here, and we can just click Spore. They go for the double. I mean, that was their best play. But I mean, yeah, we would have been in a position still where I think Arcanine with the assistance probably here would have been able to clean up, because what we could have done was we could have protected the Roaring Moon, and that throat chop did a lot of damage. I guess the biggest issue right now would be a wake up coming out from my opponent. But I guess we're about to find out here, hey? Hole and Puff here, just in case he does click the Icy Wind and they quit. Okay. GG to my opponent. Another really solid showing from the team there. I mean, like, you just see how good Roaring Moon is into side spam. That's why we led it. Like, I do wish I got the lead slightly better in terms of bringing my 9 on lead rather than my hands, but Iron Hands was able to do a lot of damage there, especially that Stomping Tantrum onto the Goldango was absolutely insane. Like, that was so much damage. But yeah, I guess we'll go on to the next one.